Hey friends, hope you guys are still doing good. We're trekking along in our week adventure of our Life Journal Jumpstart, and so we're gonna go ahead, jump right back in to our reading. Today we got Job 13 and 14 and Acts 17 and 18, and we're still in this narrative of Job as he's going through this season of suffering and sorrow. And Job chapter 13, a very pivotal chapter as it shapes his attitude towards God. You're going to read this in Job 13 as this specific chapter is a plea that makes this message and says, still I will hope in God. And that really is a powerful statement. It seems very simple, but Job makes it profound as he says in verse 15, though he slay me, I will hope in him. And this one line summarizes Job's heart in this moment of even though he's being slain, he's gonna hope in God. And I'm not sure many people would be able to do the same as Job is doing. He says in Job 14, as he emphasizes the frailty of humanity as the flowers wither and seasons change, and humans are simply here one second and gone the next, but as for us, we should desperately hope in God. And as we jump to Acts 17 and 18 today, we're gonna notice one thing, that as Paul and Silas they separate from Barnabas and John Mark, is that Paul and Silas are going to be in different spaces. You're going to notice this theme of Paul in Thessalonica, and then he goes to Paul in Berea, Paul in Athens, Paul in the Areopagus, chapter 18, Paul in Corinth, Paul back to Antioch, and eventually chapter 19, Paul in Ephesus. Is that Paul is taking God's message to every culture and every space. Nothing, nowhere, no area disqualifies Paul from entering with the gospel. And you're going to notice they're going to come across various problems, various different types of people, different types of issues. And regardless of the issues, it is the gospel and the person of God that is the antidote to humanity's problems. Whether it's idolatry or selfishness or greed or stubbornness, God is here to step in. And I love God so much because even in his omnipotence, in his power, you're going to notice he still gives people the ability to believe or disbelieve. Paul will bring the message and they still have the willingness to choose God or ultimately to reject him. And you're going to notice in these two chapters, Paul and Silas going to different places, different cultures, bringing God to the different nations and seeing how the people respond. Some follow, some don't, but we're going to see that God is still doing this movement through Paul's missionary journey, and he's doing something amazing. And so we're going to continue in Acts chapter 19 and 20 tomorrow. But until then, you guys have a great day, and we will see you tomorrow.